Hello, welcome Magic lovers. For this week's 1v1 Commander, somebody asked me some time ago to do what they said was a Sen Triplets stacks deck. And I thought about it. I'm not sure what really stacks cards you would put in a Sen's Triplet. You probably don't want to play Tango Wire or actual Smokestack. And maybe you do some taxation cards or stuff like that. Thorn of Amethyst, those kind of things. But those kind of hurt you just as much as your opponent. It might slow down your opponent so you can get Sen Triplets, but I don't know, it just didn't seem quite what right for a theme for a deck. But I still thought the idea of Sen Triplets was pretty interesting. So I looked up some old Sen Triplets decks, and I found that Reanimator was the theme that seemed to work the most for people in the past. And I tried that out, and I played a few games with it. I did get a turn 2 Iona against a mono red player, which was funny. This isn't very nice. I'm not a nice person. Choose a color. Well, we're going to choose red. GG, I guess. I feel a little bit bad about that one. A little bit. But other than that, the deck just seemed to misfire a lot. The pieces just didn't come together quite right. So what I thought I would do instead is just make a straight control deck that plays Sen Triplets. Because the Reanimator one, it's like, okay, you got Reanimator, but why are you playing Sen Triplets? Why aren't you playing Loro? And maybe Sen Triplets is like your plan B, but I wanted to make Sen Triplets the plan A. Kind of. Like, A and a half. I don't know what to call it. But, Control is obviously also plan A. But then you get out the Sen Triplets, and then you use your opponent's... I mean, this deck doesn't actually have any real win conditions. I guess you could win with Tezzeret here or something like that. And there is a Snapcaster Mage. But other than that, there's not really any actual win conditions in the deck. So the point is to play your opponent's win conditions against them while controlling what they do on the board, etc. So I don't know if it's going to work. I also am a little concerned that this is the kind of deck that casual players hate, and that it will elicit a lot of concessions, especially when I drop a Sen Triplets that they can't answer. Most people are, in a casual environment at the very least, are not going to want you playing cards from their own hand. So I guess we'll see how that one goes as well. Alright, got game one. I have what appears to be a pretty good control hand. I'm on the draw. It's a little too tap-outy for me, but you can't have everything, I guess. I guess there's also this is our only white source if we use this for black-blue in order to play the Phyrexian Arena, which I think I'm going to do. I guess I could just lead off with the island. There's not a lot of reason not to. Alright, that's black. I guess that's a good reason. Yeah, so let's lead off with the swamp instead. Then we can use this one for blue-white, and we'll have 2 white, 2 black, 3 blue. That's good. I am playing against Animar. Alright. Cannot kill Animar with Swords to Plowshares. So that's a problem. I can bounce it with Jace. That's not really where I want to be. But it might have to be where I am. Need some answers to Animar. Dismember gets there. Dismember gets there pretty hard. I guess if I play the Signet... I mean, I can play the Arena next turn no matter what. I can't play the Signet and the Arena next turn, I don't think. If I already played my lands, yeah. Alright, so... the plan is Arena, Signet and Dismember next turn. Or, Arena and Dismember next turn. Alright, they don't have the mana to cast Animar. They do have a Cultivate. I haven't drawn any counter spells. This deck is littered with counter spells. Alright, so I want to stop my opponent from what they're doing, but I can't. This thing is a bit awkward. They can play one land. They can play a 2-drop. Yeah, or I guess a 3-drop. I could just play Jace. Jace is pretty open here. It's a better use of my mana. Opponent shouldn't be able to attack into it this turn. We get to look at a bunch of cards. Collective Brutality is pretty decent. I don't think I want these things. Jace gives me a way to try and find a Wrath at some point. I'm definitely going to need a Wrath at some point. Like, even if I can individually control what the opponent is doing right now, at some point they will break out and play a bunch of things. Most likely. Alright, this is going to be Animar. There he is. And they got 3 extra mana. Hopefully they can't play more than 2 creatures. Fauna Shaman. Alright. That leaves them with only a colorless. That's pretty good. And we get to put 2 cards back and shuffle them. Let's brainstorm. Alright, Vindicate's good. I might want this Felwar Stone. Let's put these 2 things back. Let's play this. Vindicate doesn't kill this thing. So let's tap this for white. Let's swords this thing. Saving the Collective Brutality to kill Animar again. I could use the Collective Brutality to kill the Fauna Shaman, but currently... Oh. Shoot, yeah. That was a bit of a misplay. I forgot he's pro-black as well. So I don't have an answer to him right now, do I? I'd have to bounce him with Jace. So I'm losing my Jace. Nothing in my deck hits him except for Wraths. So let's go black-white. And play Phyrexian Arena. I should have bounced him with my Jace, most likely. They did only have 3 cards, now they have 4 cards in hand. So, absent a way to draw cards, they're going to stall out. I might need to get a different art Vindicate. This one looks too much like Anguish Unmaking. Alright, so there's a Genesis. So that's a decent amount of mana right there. It does allow them to like attack into me a bunch, and a Somberworld Sage. Alright. Still no ways to draw cards. Animar is going to kill Jace. Most likely. Yep. No surprises there. I shouldn't have let that happen. I don't have many answers besides bouncing Jace and bouncing it with Jace, and bouncing it with Jace is unattractive. Alright, 2 lands. Not great. Opponent could have like Flame Tongue Kavu or something like that. Like, I swear there are counter spells in my deck. Actually, let's take a look at their hand. 2 modes. Take a look at their hand. Probably not going to hit anything, but we got to look at their hand and kill this Somberworld Sage. And discard this island. Alright, we actually hit Nissa's Pilgrimage. And they have a Consecrated Sphinx. Now, I can't deal with their Consecrated Sphinx at instant speed. But I can play my commander. And then I can deal with it next turn and maybe get some of the spells that they cast. Or that they get. Tundra? Yeah, let's get Tundra. Gonna take some damage here. Hopefully they don't draw something else that's really good. Until my turn. Then they can draw good things all they want. Once it's my turn, that's fine. Alright, there's the Consecrated Sphinx. Just remember, my only instant doesn't deal with that. Not blocking either of these things, so I take 9, 10. Like a way to exile that. I have quite a few. Alright, I can't do anything about that. I can't cast their Hellkite Tyrant. Not quite. Well, maybe if they draw a red land. Equilibrium. Alright. Guess we can... Alright, so let's kill this thing. I'm going to be taking some damage. Let's play the Temple of Mystery. Yeah, I guess I'll take that. And then let's play Equilibrium. It's actually quite good for me. I need to get some creatures out of their deck. Or, like, I need them to draw some creatures that they can't play. Which actually seems pretty unlikely. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of damage, actually. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the Coalition Relic. They actually can't play the Hellkite Tyrant, can they? Unless they draw red mana. That's pretty good. And then I do have the Coalition Relic. So I can play the Hellkite Tyrant and bounce Animar. It's not the worst thing in the world. Alright, Burnished Heart. Alright. They're getting their mana. Now, can I cast the Hellkite Tyrant and the... I'll have to look at that. That's a lot of damage. So I'm at 7. I'm taking damage from my Phyrexian Arena. I was a little worried about that when I put it in the deck. Like, I don't really have any ways to gain life. So this costs 6. So 1, 2, 3. Coalition Relic. I need this land. So now I'm at 5. What is this? This is Underground Sea? Yeah. We'll grab that. And then we'll cast this. Red. Red. And then place this. Bounce this. Yes, please. Fortunately, I don't get to also cast the Animar. Which is a bit sad. Alright, so let's just say go. I have to block the Genesis, which I do not want to do. They overpaid for Animar a bit. Unless they had something else they want to cast. Alright, well, I gotta block that. I can't. I die from this 4 damage. Alright. So we got a forest out of our hand. And we get a big draw X. It's not too bad. Let's take their forest. I can't attack here either. Alright, so it looks like they're going to grab the Sphinx back. Which actually isn't the end of the world. That means they draw 2 cards on my turn. And not on their own. So I get to pick the best ones. And use them for my own personal gains. Which means I might want to not use the Coalition Relic and tap it for mana instead. So let's blue. I gotta do this before they use this ability because I don't want them drawing a million cards. And then discard. Ooh, Reanimate got left in the deck. Oh, I didn't figure that, man. I forgot I could draw a counterspell. Alright. I don't know what my opponent drew. But I do have a Demonic Tutor. I can go and get away to deal with this Phyrexian Arena. Or to gain life or something like that. But yeah, my opponent conceded. I don't know if they drew something really good and they didn't want me to get a hold of it. But it was an interesting match. So I had a couple cards that I meant to remove from the deck. Reanimate, key among them. Also the Tainted Pact. I have 2 islands in the deck now. It just got too hard to stretch the mana around it. I don't really want to exile half of my library looking. I do kind of like Tainted Pact in decks that have a ton of redundant effects. Like we've just got Wrath, removal, counterspells, and mana rocks. So it could possibly be pretty good. I would need another land to replace this island with. I'm going to take it out for now. If we find we need to find answers a little more often, I might put Tainted Pact back in. But I'm going to take it out for now. I'm going to play just Raw Negate and then Supreme Will, which is a flexible counterspell / draw spell. I think we were a little bit short on counterspells there. Never saw any of them that game. Oops. So I think I want to try that instead. Alright, got another game. I am on the draw. I'm playing against Jin-Gitaxias, which is interesting. Mono blue, so I don't know how many of my spells are going to resolve. At least I also have counterspells. I also have this Ancestral Vision, which gets better if I can cast another spell in the same turn. Also, Sen Triplets, everything they have is blue, so don't have to worry about trying to find ways to get their colors. We'll just exile good old-fashioned Ancestral Vision and say go. Alright, I drew Brainstorm. I don't know if I'm really worried about any threats. I can do it on their end step. Never mind. I guess they don't have any counterspells anyways. Alright. I don't have any creatures in my deck except Snapcaster Mage. Well, I guess Sen Triplets. Alright, Council's Judgment, Thoughtseize. These are all great cards. I actually want most of these. I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to crack the Scalding Tarn right away. I'll draw one of these lands. And then crack it. Let's Thoughtseize first. Deadeye Navigator. I tapped my mana way wrong. But we can pretend that we have something we need to hold up. At least we know they don't have any counter spells. Not yet, at least. So it might be time to play my commander. I can also play Jace. But it seems like my commander's a little better. Got Mana Vault into Deadeye Navigator. Alright, into nothing. I could Jace and counter this, memory lapse it. Then it comes right back down, but then I can bounce it with Jace. I think I like that a little bit more. It might be a little transparent to play this memory. Oh, I only have 2 blue. Council's Judgment, it can actually hit this. Because it doesn't target. So I think that's probably what we are going to need to do. I'm going to play my commander or Jace. I think Jace is a little bit better. Alright, let's put Flusterstorm. I don't think we're going to need that anytime soon. And tuck that so they can't see it. Do draw 3 cards next turn. This is 9 mana. 3, 5. It's also a 5/4, so it gets hit by Dismember. Which we can do before they draw 7 cards. Alright, I'm not playing their Deadeye Navigator. We get a Resolve, an Ancestral Vision. Really feel like I probably need some way to gain life in this deck. Alright. Let's draw cards. Let's put this back. We're not going to need it. And this back. And player commander. And probably get rid of Temple. Just Memory Lapse is actually pretty good against Jin-Gitaxias, since they have to tap this Mana Vault, and it's all of their mana. So they can't really counter it. I guess we've seen all these lands. So they do have 3 unknowns. Okay. And if they do play it, then we get to look at their hand and take all the best cards out of it. Another game where the opponent draws cards right before I get to use them. Alright, got another game. I'm on the draw. I have nothing but counter spells in this hand. But I'm going to keep it. Playing against Meren of Clan Toth. Interesting commander. Very powerful in multiplayer. Hasn't really had a presence in single player. People play it from time to time, but it's very vulnerable to just having your commander removed. Alright, Golgari Rot Farm. I believe I have both a Wasteland and a Field of Ruin in this deck. Not going to play all my fetch lands here. I do have Brainstorms and Jaces and stuff like that. I need the one so I can have black. Or blue. Yeah, let's go Underground Sea. And we're spell piercing that. So otherwise we can't daze this Meren most likely. Alright, I've drawn nothing but lands. Still gonna hold on some fetch lands. Alright. Not gonna... I can't daze that. Howling Mine. Alright, you want to give me more cards too? Alright. Both of those, quite good. Chromatic Lantern unlocks green for us. If we play so we can play our opponent's cards. Nope. Pretty sure that's a critical piece of... Nobody ever plays Aetherflux Reservoir unless they hope to ping somebody for 50 life. You don't just play that for life gain. You play that to ping somebody for 50 life. Alright, so we got another fairly early concession. Alright, got another game. I am on the draw, and I got 3 mana rocks. Hard to say no to that. Opponent has Evolving Wilds. They are Keranos. Not a big fan of Evolving Wilds in your 2-color deck. Like, you could basically just play basics. Like, if you need a budget mana base for a 2-color deck, just play 40 basics. Young Pyromancer. Alright. Alright, we can eventually bounce everything. This taps for mana, so we can wait until next turn. I don't think we need it either way, but... Alright, so they got Keranos next turn. Which is going to be a slight problem. Vindicate. Alright. I think I also need another land. So I might brainstorm. It really sucks without a fetch land. And if I lock myself, then it's even worse. Alright, they're just deep analysising. So I'm not going to do that then. So they needed to draw for a land themselves. This isn't a Ultimate Master's token for the Elemental. Alright, I drew a land anyways. But... let's just go ahead and play our commander. Could just die. Opponent only has 1 red. They just played their land for the turn. Alright, they got a Gilded Lotus. And Imprisoned in the Moon. Alright. I guess I could have hit Spell Pierce or something like that. So maybe I should have brainstormed in response to the Imprisoned in the Moon. Miscalc. Inquisition. Yeah. I kind of want this miscalc. Kind of went Inquisition. Kind of don't want Thirst. Or Liliana the Veil. So that's 5. So I gotta do 6, 7. 2 Cyclonic Rift. So I have to tap my Sen Triplets if I want to also Inquisition. Which I do. Alright, so it's Ristic Study, don't care about, Imprison the Moon, Thought Vessel, Future Sight. Let's take the Imprison the Moon, and my opponent quit. Alright, got another game. Grim Tutor is another card that was supposed to be cut from my deck. Playing against Kess. Seeing all kinds of crazy builds for Kess. I'm on the draw. I do have Mana Leak. So that's kind of nice. Opponent might be turn 1 Thoughtseize, Inquisition, something like that, me. Looks like that's what's happening. Sleight of hand, okay. Alright, I'm just going to play this tapped. It turns on the Drowned Catacombs. Don't have anything else I'm doing right now. Drew another land. And a treasure map. I'm not going to play the treasure map yet. Let's just play the Underground Sea. I don't want to have to crack a fetch land. Again, Brainstorm, Jace, things like that. Save your fetch lands. Guess we do have the treasure map to scry to the bottom and stuff like that. Treasure map, once you get tokens too, does help you get the colors that you need. This is my instep. Alright. That's mean. I didn't know that was just permanent. That thing's brutal. Alright, I drew a Ponder. I don't know, my opponent couldn't mess with my lands again. Let's pay 2 life. Say go. Because we just get boomeranged over and over again. Could actually lose the game that way. Just because I don't have anything to do about it. I mean, I guess it could Mana Leak. It's so hard to Mana Leak on your own instep, though. It never feels good. Alright, we hit Mana Drain. So that's perfect. Definitely playing Arid Mesa here. My opponent's looking to Kess with a counterspell backup. And we can play around that. Alright, here I think it's safe to Thirst for Knowledge on their instep. And let's discard Grim Tutor and Field of Ruin. Kind of want this command treasure map. It could be quite good. Definitely want the Liliana. Definitely want... Well, at the time I only had 2 lands, but I wanted the colored lands. I don't know. Field of Ruin maybe would have been something that I wanted. Crucible of Worlds. Alright. No real big payoff for them for that yet. Supreme Will. I'm going to Ponder. Alright. These all seem fine. I'll probably shuffle the Caves. I don't know if I shuffle the Jace. I definitely wanted the Swords. Jace seems ambitious here. Might have to shuffle the Jace anyways, just to play counter spells. I have a feeling my opponent's going to try and Kess at some point fairly soon. Alright, there's Kess. Let's Mana Drain it. Alright, Mana Drain resolved. So I get 4 mana. Let's start with Treasure Map. I think I'm going to try and Jace as well. Doesn't seem likely that it resolves. Alright, evasive action. What do I have to pay? 3? Anna. That's fine. I did kind of need that though. My counter spells are lackluster. I guess it costs 2 extra mana to play this Kess now. And we've got the treasure map. That helps out quite a bit. Alright, so let's mana leak. That taps all their mana, so they can't cast one of the spells out of their graveyard. And also, so we can resolve whatever we want on our turn. I guess they could have cast one spell, they had a land. Alright, they got a Braid. I kind of want that. You know what? No. Let's just... We're not going to take a Wrath of God. We'll just let them abrade it. And let's play Sen Triplets. And we still have Supreme Will up. There's a good chance they just have removal for it. That's fine. It looks like they have removal for it right now. Alright, they're just tapping their fetch lands. Hymn to Torok. That sucks. Alright, we gotta keep the one that we cared about. I don't know if they can still cast Kess. What's she, 8? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, Dreadbore. Can't do anything about that. Alright, well we're gonna... I'm gonna still play this. Maybe I draw something? Deck's full of answers. It's just not quite as good as a Kess deck. A few decks are. I mean, because you just get to keep playing your answers. Alright, well, I did draw a Vindicate. This is Vindicate Kess. Now it costs almost all their mana. But it doesn't matter. Like, they can just... I'm just biding time, but I'm still losing. Alright. I am on the play. And I think I keep this hand. Alright, I am playing against Nissa. I think I do turn 1 Duress. Looking for Mana Ramp or Utopia Sprawl, especially. Could also Ponder. But I think Duress is where I want to. Because turn 2 I'm Signating. And then it's going to be difficult to... Alright, so let's take the removal. And then they're left with Meren and nothing. So that's not too bad. Alright, I hit Soul Ring. So let's play a land. Let's play Soul Ring. Let's play Dimir Signet. And do we also Ponder? Because we can't... I have to crack this land. It would then be for white-blue. We might as well Ponder. There's a good chance my opponent just won't have anything in their hand when we go to do this. Because it looks... We'll force them to play Meren instead of Nissa. Which actually isn't that bad for us. And then... I don't know, it depends on their draw. And we'll go ahead and Ponder. Set up a next couple turns. I don't think I need any of this. We'll go ahead and shuffle. Alright, we got Exotic Orchard, which gets us green right away. Alright, opponent has Explore. Alright, so they played an Oran Reef and a Forest and Explore. Alright, so let's play this. Let's tap it for that. Let's go white and play Sen Triplets. And Suspend and Sistro Visions. Alright, so they got Elvish Archdruid, so they're pretty clearly on an Elves build. The Meren kind of gave that away anyways. So we'll steal Forest from him. We will steal Meren from him. I don't think I quite vindicate this. I mean, they could draw something pretty good, but we also could counterspell it. Not going to attack. So I think our Sen Triplets mostly done doing what it's doing. Creatures. Okay. They can just keep getting Nissa. Nissa's going to be a problem. Alright. They just... I don't know what that was about. At least we get 3 cards in a couple of turns. They got no cards in hand. We can vindicate the Oran Reef. I think I just want to... I think I probably do want to kill this thing. Vindicate this thing. And attack. I'm going to have to bounce things in order to be able to cast things from their hand. Because they're just going to play from... They're just going to play everything they draw every turn. Pretty much no matter what. They immediately flip Nissa. Alright, they're making a copy of the Oran Reef. So I kind of would like to just draw something myself. Alright, Collective Brutality does nothing. We'll play the Verdant Catacombs. I'll swing for 4. Alright, I am going to counter Nissa here. They will eventually get Nissa. Alright, they back it in. We're drawing 4 cards next turn. I don't know what they still have in their hand, but they might not be able to play it. Alright, I got another game. I am on the play. Playing against Brago. Alright, I gotta... Go ahead and keep this. It's a little bit awkward. Kind of want the Fatal Push to deal with Brago. But at the same time... Yeah, no, I have to crack this. Otherwise, I just can't do anything, really. Have to hope for another one. So we'll Thoughtseize our opponent. And... take this thing. The other thing is the Detain creature. Detain each non-land permanent. Alright, so that gets us our 3rd land. Opens up the Coalition Relic. A little bit awkward because of where we need to play it in relationship. Actually, we're on the play, so you know we can... Mastery of the Unseen. Alright, that's probably bad for me. But we'll find out. Let's play a Coalition Relic and say go. Phyrexian Metamorph. Copying my Coalition Relic. Alright. So I could... just play my commander here. Then I can't Mana Leak the Brago. They don't really have anything to do with Brago yet. I think they almost need to deal with this. We'll see. Because then we can just detain the Brago. At least for a turn. Actually, I'm a little worried about this becoming a Phyrexian Metamorph, now that I think about it. Or becoming a Sen Triplets. Hedron Archive. Alright, and Brago. Alright, that's a lot of mana. I need a permanent to leave the battlefield. Let's make blue. Let's play their land. Let's play their creature. Can't attack or block. Activated abilities can't be activated. Just hold up our mana leak. Cuts off their mana for a turn as well. So we've seen everything from their hand. Manifest the top card of your library. Okay. Deals combat damage. Alright, that's pretty good. So I guess we'll steal that. Do I play the Mana Rock first? I think so. Stretches my mana a little bit more than I might like it to. Oh, this actually, I can sacrifice a soldier to kill Brago. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Dimir Signet so that I could do that. But I can at least use it once to stop the combat damage. This is whenever it deals combat damage. So I can prevent the combat damage. Cloud form, alright. So it looks like they're like a manifest. It's an interesting strategy with Brago. Flip all your manifests. The last thing in the world I want, though, is for this thing to become a Sen Triplets. So I'm super worried about that. Alright, they're forcing me to do it, which makes sense. Alright, they have no cards in hand. So let's sacrifice. Is there anything else, any other way I can get a creature out of my... I mean, I could Toxic Deluge, wipe their board. It's kind of the same effect. It does less damage if I attack them, but we don't really want to attack them anyways. Let's pay 2 life. And then kill that thing. Attack for 3. Got mana leak up. I don't know if it really... Actually, I think it is enough. I suspect a concession is incoming. No, not yet. Let's put a counter. Alright, they're empty-handed. So the downside of Sen Triplets is it doesn't do anything when your opponent's empty-handed. Don't know why they need to put a counter on it now. Alright, so we just drew a miscalc, which is pretty good. We'll go ahead and play Search for Escanta and attack for 7. They can't counter that. Makes sense. So that kind of stops me from attacking with Sen Triplets at least. Because they are at 11 life. Yeah, let's put that in my graveyard. Cold Steel Heart. That does nothing. Alright, well let's brainstorm first. Preordain Liliana. Liliana's pretty good. Also, Preordain is pretty good. Although, we know what the next 2 cards are. I guess we can scry one of them. Make him sacrifice a creature. I overtapped. I could have used the mana from the Coalition Relic. Alright. Opponent doesn't block. Would be a chump block. They probably want to kill Liliana. Revelark. Are they evoking it or are they casting it? Alright, well let's stop extra mana. That's fine. It doesn't do that much to do that, but it stops them from having a ton of extra mana afterwards. I don't know what else they were planning. I mean, I also can cycle Miscalc, but I don't know. Yeah, let's put Chromatic Lantern in my graveyard. Let's flip Search for Azcana. Of course, we know what the next card is. Maybe I should have preordained last turn. Let's preordain. Alright, Jay's pretty good. They get back 2 target creature cards with power 2. Ooh, that's bad. It's whenever it leaves the battlefield. There's not much I can do about that. Is there anything I can get with Grim Tutor? Let's find out. They're only at 4 life, so it doesn't take much. This you draw. This isn't target player. It's not Sign in Blood. It's Collective Brutality. Is that enough? Actually, Collective Brutality is enough, isn't it? So if we 2 modes, target opponent, and that one. So this creature, 2 life to them. Black, colorless, discard Mental Misstep. They got no cards in hand. They don't have enough mana to manifest. That should do it. Oh, they can flip it. It's a Wall of Omens? They could have flipped it. Actually finished a game. Alright, got another game. I am on the play. Playing against Nissa Vastwood Seer. I'm pretty sure this is the same deck here. I don't have a blue, which is a little awkward. Don't have a double white either. I maybe shouldn't have kept this. I just saw a Soul Ring and I was like, ooh, Soul Ring. Because, you know, ooh, Soul Ring. I'm going to play it turn 1. My opponent could have removal for it, but if I draw blue, I guess I could play it turn 2. Come on, blue mana. Alright, that counts. It's a little slow, but it does get us our commander in next turn, on turn 3. It doesn't allow us to counter anything, so if they have like Beast Within or something like that. Alright. It's a different deck because that is not an elf. Pretty sure it's the same opponent. Makes it a little bit hard to just spend your turn leveling this thing up. Oracle of Moldiah. Alright, you get another land. And Warcaller. Alright. It's definitely an elf. And it's the elf synergy as well. Alright, well, I can't cast either of these things. Return X free graveyard. Alrighty then. Let's Council's Judgment, the Oracle Moldiah. Then they only draw a land next turn. And then we can return it with Wildest Dreams. They voted for something else. So they didn't really understand how that worked, huh? Alright, well I guess we'll attack. Yep. Makes sense. Alright. Alright, well that blocks us pretty well. Probably looking to cycle this miscalc at some point. Looks like we won't be getting a green land from them anytime soon either. So we're probably going to play it. Nope, they did it again. Hardly feels fair. Alright. And they missed the land drop, which actually I realized late that they were 1 mana away from that Sandworm convergence. So maybe Miscalc is good. I mean, I can still Spell Pierce it. Or I could just make them discard it and also discard something. I think I actually want the Snapcaster Mage. Maybe the Mana Drain. Now, the benefit is I put Liliana in play. The downside is I don't get them to use all their mana to cast the Sandworm Convergence. Which means they're probably going to play Liliana or Nissa and then immediately flip Nissa. Then draw a card or make a 4/4. And then yeah, I'm gonna play the Liliana. I don't think Nissa's that bad for me. If they make a 4/4, we can kill the 4/4. If they draw the card, I guess they could play it. But we do have Miscalc. I'm going to get rid of Mana Drain. I don't know when I'm going to have 2 blue. And I want Snapcaster Mage so I can Snapcaster the Council's Judgment. And I can Snapcaster the Mana Drain at some point in time as well. That requires 3 blue though. Alright, there's Nissa. I'm not going to Miscalc it. Doesn't do anything. There's the 7th land. Alright, they're making a 4/4. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Alright, so got my opponent down to 13. I could... So I'm definitely doing this. I'm wondering if I'm attacking this... I kind of like playing Snapcaster. I mean, it makes it so I can't counter anything. But it gets rid of Nissa. Then they have to spend 5 mana to get it again. We still have Liliana to kill a 4/4. And we got another 2 power in attacking. Let's just attack them, I think. Also, there's the Ancient Tomb, which is hurting them quite a bit. We can still hold up a white. This game probably actually would have gone a little bit worse if my opponent hadn't let me get 2 spells with... What did you just draw? Zendikar Resurgent. Alright. They could not have tapped their mana faster. I do wish I had Miscalc up for that. Can we draw a blue land? Alright, I drew Jace. Which I can't cast. I could cycle Miscalc and hope to get a blue land. It seems unlikely that Miscalc's going to get anything with a Zendikar Resurgent in play. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Alright, got them down to 3. I kind of just gotta hope that they run out of steam here. They can play Nissa to draw a card. I draw a non-blue land. I don't think there's a strong reason to take up Liliana. I think we just say go. Like, if I have to sacrifice her to get rid of a creature, oh well. Alright, so Nissa, draw a card, flip it, draw a card. It's a pretty clear line here. Alright, the card they drew was Oran Reef. They got Nissa, make a 1/1, a 0/1. One other card in hand. Are they dead here? Did I get there? It would have taken quite a bit. They would have actually needed to play 3 creatures. I guess if they have a remove spell here for this thing, that doesn't require them to tap the Ancient Tomb. Alright, I draw an island. Yeah, I mean, I've got it 6 different ways here. It's a shame that I just now drew my second green land. Because I would have liked to have cast these spells. Alright, yep. Opponent's dead on board. I'm not sure how much I played there, but I think I've seen about enough. It's pretty clear. It's a cool deck, but I'm not sure it really has a place. It's not really something... It's not very nice to be playing it against a bunch of casual players. I think, at least at the very end, a couple of players actually let us play the games out. Those were kind of interesting. It was actually closer in both of those games than I would have liked to have been. I was like really hammering those last points of damage, and if my opponent almost stabilized in both of those games, I don't think this deck is strong enough to be competitive. The Kess match was pretty lopsided. I think you're going to have that in general. We're pretty reliant on our commander in those kind of matchups. We don't probably have as much card advantage as those kind of decks do, especially Kess. Kess is just like a card advantage engine. And our commander doesn't do anything right when it gets into play. It's very easy to remove. So it's not Brea, which is, difficult to remove, comes with value. Kess comes with value all the time, like even my opponent casting it for like 10 mana was still able to cast a spell. So I think there's also some weirdness with all these mana rocks and trying to play a counterspell control deck. And maybe you just don't do that, but like you really kind of, like if you want to play your opponent's spells, Sen Triplets doesn't have the newer abilities that let you tap mana for any color. So you need things like Chromatic Lantern and Coalition Relic in order to play your opponent's spells. As you saw, we couldn't play the Sandworm Convergence. And then also when your opponent's just out of cards. So you could probably... I think my Reanimator deck could have worked. It just needed more card draw and filtering and stuff like that. I didn't put Brainstorm or Ponder because I didn't think the deck really needed them, but I played it. And, but I decided that's not the route I wanted to go anyways, and I just switched up decks. If you really wanted to... But then again, I'm not sure there's a reason to play Kess in that deck. Or not Kess, Sen Triplets in a Reanimator deck when you could just play Oloro. I guess Sen Triplets is maybe a little bit better if you cast it. It could be good. I don't know. But, I don't know, I had fun. There was some pretty funny funny things going on there. And I enjoyed the deck. I just think there's some tension, both in where the deck is positioned in the metagame, like strictly in between casual and competitive, and trying to get the mana to cast your opponent's spells, while still having like a control deck. There's also the problem of all the artifact mana that makes it pretty hard to control what your opponent is doing. So maybe some destroy target artifact or enchantment. We've got white in the deck, so maybe some of those kind of effects, especially 1-mana ones, might be pretty good. That might be something to throw in, and maybe throw out some of the signets or something like that, because we don't... Those were a bit awkward most of the time. Probably Cold Steel Heart's a little awkward as well. Felwar Stone, I think, is kind of fine. It taps right away, so that's pretty good. And if you're against a blue deck, then you get a tap for blue. Yeah. So, I think it's an interesting shell. It has some flaws. Maybe they can be worked out. I think there's a reason we don't see Sen Triplets too much, but it's a lot of fun. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.